The 25th of November is the UN International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. It marks the start of 16 days of action, culminating on the 10th of December, which is International Human Rights Day. For me, this is a sober moment actually to pause and reflect on the violence that women and girls face around the world.
I'm delighted that Surrey County Council has been awarded the White Ribbon accredited status in recognition of all the work that we do to tackle domestic abuse and to make sure that the right support is in place for those people that need it.
Surrey County Council is working closely with our specialist domestic abuse outreach and refuge providers to ensure people experiencing domestic abuse still have access to the help and support they need. I'm particularly proud that we were able to open a new refuge in June in time for the expected surge in survivors seeking help as the lockdown restrictions eased. We are now furthering our commitment to improve access to support services by introducing independent domestic violence advisors into all of our A&E settings across Surrey's hospitals.
I'm Katie Stewart. I'm the Executive Director for Environment, Transport and Infrastructure, but also the Corporate Lead for Equalities, Diversity and Inclusion. And with our EDI agenda, we are working to take a radical approach to how we embed equalities, diversity and inclusion in absolutely everything we do.
For me, this day, also known as White Ribbon Day, is a day when we really should sort of think about everything that we can do, big or small, to tackle this terrible crime that exists in our communities. It's much more common than you think, and it's something that together we should support each other to address over the next few months and years.
Within the EDI agenda, where we've been focusing a lot is obviously on bias, discrimination, but increasingly we're very conscious of the effects of domestic abuse as well on staff. And one of the things that I would absolutely encourage everyone to do is to please familiarise yourselves with the domestic abuse policy that SCC has in place.
As an ambassador, I share the belief that domestic abuse is everyone's problem and that men must play an active role to end it.
Before working for Surrey County Council, I was a special constable, and I had to witness a lot of the aftermaths of domestic abuse and especially violence against women. Having seen this firsthand, and it's something that I also had to study at university, has really brought it close to my heart as an issue that really shouldn't be around and needs to be stopped.
I've recently read some really heartbreaking figures in that almost 1 in 3 women aged 16 to 59 will experience domestic abuse in her lifetime, and 2 women a week are killed by a current or former partner in England and Wales alone, and we can't allow this to go on. It's something that has affected myself and members of my family as having experienced domestic abuse, so it's a topic that's very close to my heart, and I want to play a part in making sure that women do not have to face abuse at the hands of men.
We need to keep talking about domestic abuse. We need to empower survivors to come forward, to escape those situations and know that there will be support for them to keep them safe and to start the process of rebuilding their lives. We also need to be vigilant of the signs of domestic abuse within our jobs and also in our wider lives, and they can be physical, they can be mental, they can be economic.
We all know that domestic abuse creates issues of attachment for children of any age, and there is a recognition across the county that domestic abuse plays a major part in the work that we do with children and young people and their families in order to support change in behaviour within the family home.
Now, in current times, the impact of COVID, it's meant that abuse is even more prevalent, and we need to make a change. It's also something that affects many of our residents in Surrey, which is why I'm proud that we are a White Ribbon accredited organisation, really showing our commitment and support to this hugely important issue in our society.
Our staff have been working closely with our partners to make sure that the right support is in place. I would urge anybody that knows of somebody that they think might be experiencing domestic abuse to make sure that they speak to them and indeed to reassure them that that there is that support in place if they wish to access it.
I want you, if you're a member of staff, to know that help and support is available to anyone who needs it, either through our specialist domestic abuse outreach services or speaking to a manager or colleague. You can find out how to get involved, how to find help by looking at our domestic abuse support pages on Jive, searching out our domestic abuse policy on STC Info, or visiting surreyagainstda.info.